Emerson. Marina will now say a few words. Thank you so much for everyone coming out and supporting and go Muskies. On behalf of Colt, Aiden will now say a few words.
Fox.
All right, Cole wanted me to say a few words tonight. So, he would like to say, first I would like to thank the students for voting. It was an honor to represent Southwest. I wish I could be here in person to accept this. This will be one memory I will remember forever. Time ago when so short, enjoy every minute I can take. Work hard no matter what, and always dream big. Thank you again for this honor. Have fun at the homecoming dance. Let's go Muskies.
The football captains will now present the game ball to the Queen. Please welcome Aiden Armstrong, Landon Baker, Gunnar Fox, and Nathan Walker. Ethan Derwachter is with his teammates in the locker room. This concludes the pregame ceremony. Thank you for your attention and go Muskies.
The Board of Education, Principal and Athletic Department of John Glenn High School extends to each of you a cordial welcome. Sheridan High School and John Glenn High School.
high school football. Today's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, Abels, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, TK Auto, White Pillars Christmas House, and Dirtworks.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to AVC Sports high school football production here on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM 98.5 and 107.9. Dave Davidson and Dave Hilliard here along with the rest of the gang for this Week 5 matchup here. Dave Hilliard, Sheridan Generals coming in at 3-1 on the year, facing the John Glenn Muskies, who just picked up victory number 1, and they want to get 2 in a row tonight.
They finally got in the win column last week, a game that I was here for. They relied heavily on their defense, played a great defensive game. They just gave up one big play that was Coshocton had for a touchdown, but other than that, they pretty much shut Coshocton down. I think they only had 3 or 4 first downs, if I remember our statistics correctly. So they played a great game defensively. Lincoln Gilter led the way. He had over 200 yards rushing. We had him with 201. I think I read he had 209 for the game, so we were pretty close with our stats, but relied heavily on him. I think the one thing that concerns the staff is they turned the ball over way too much in that football game. 20-7. It should have been more like 35-7. Is the way that they just dictated the tempo and everything, and then they got down to where they were going to score and they would fumble. So they've got to do a better job taking care of the football. Because Sheridan is Sheridan. They're the real deal. They're going to be physical, and it's going to be a very hard-hitting, physical football game tonight.
Well, they've had some pretty good competition leading into this one here. The Generals have a 7-point win over Licking Valley, which is a 2-2 team right now. But typically, I mean, they've traditionally been, in the regionals virtually every year. Watkins Memorial is their one defeat, 27-24. So Sheridan has been in every game if they haven't haven't won it handily. A 28-7 win against Logan. And then a little bit of a struggle down at Morgan last week, a surprising 18-13 win. This Morgan Raider team that's been playing people stout.
That's been the surprise of the MVL, I believe. Morgan going into that game, both teams, Morgan was 3-0, and, that was a hard-fought game. Sheridan had to make some plays at the end to win that one. Had a late interception that kind of sealed the deal for him. But Morgan is for real. Dr. Hall was my cohort in crime last week, and he had seen them, and he said Morgan has players. They have, if they can they've changed their culture down there, and they've got some kids that can really play. And when they get to the new Lex game, that's going to be the game of the year, I think, in the small school division in the MVL.
Coach Paul Culver III with a 52-17 record at Sheridan since taking over. As you said, Sheridan, even in their down years, they typically have been pretty stout still. And Coach Matt Edwards, in his 8th season here at John Glenn, is really looking for some more continuity, especially on the offensive side. And this is a team that's been just a mash unit, really, especially on the defensive side. They have been really trying to plug some holes at the beginning of the season, and now they're plugging them due to injury.
And that's something that they had to live through last year. And I still, just looking back in their past 10 meetings, Sheridan has had their way with them. They've won 7 out of the last 10 games. But last year, John Glenn put a 49-0 shellacking on Sheridan at Sheridan. And I remember broadcasting at another location that night, and people kept saying, is that score correct? Because I think, if I remember correctly, John Glenn scored on all 7 possessions. They had 7 touchdowns, 7 extra points. Sheridan did not score. That was kind of the first early surprise of the season. It's the halfway point here of the high school football season, Week 5, and boy, that was a real shocker last year that John Glenn, not that John Glenn won the game. John Glenn had a nice team, but that they won it 49-0. That was the shocker to that one.
Right.
So. And if you look back, in 2017, John Glenn won 30-26. 2019, the first year that I lived up here, I remember watching this game. Sheridan won. They threw a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone over at Muskingum University, to win that one with less than 10 seconds to go in the game. So, there's been a history of some really close games in this, and then there's been a couple blowouts, but I know this is one of those MVL rivalry games that both schools really get up for when they play each other.
Absolutely. Our pregame tonight sponsored by TK Auto Services, just east of New Concord. Our producer tonight, Brett Klein. Our cameramen, Mike Mitchell and Paige Meadows. Our thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Hope you enjoyed this one here on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM 98.5. We'll take a very quick time out here. We'll come back. Dave Hilliard and I will have the starting lineups for the Sheridan Generals in New Concord and the John Glenn Little Muskies as we tip off week number 5 very soon here on AVC Sports. Stay with us.
Do you really think that an insurance company who promises quotes in a few minutes has your best interest in mind? Do they really know you and what coverages you need? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. We take time to learn about you and your insurance needs so you can feel comfortable that you're receiving the right coverages at the best possible prices. Find us on Facebook, stop by our office, or give us a call at 994-1776. Valentine Insurance, a partner you can depend on.
Are you looking for a career path with a growing company? AMG Vanadium is actively recruiting for its Cambridge and Zanesville plants. Come join a company with a strong environmental purpose and commitment to community. To learn more, visit AMG's website at amg-v.com/careers. AMG offers a competitive wage and benefit package. Applications are currently being accepted.
Welcome back to AVC Sports here on NASH Icon FM and on YPRtv. Dave Hilliard and Dave Davidson here for this one. Week number 5, Sheridan at 3-1, John Glenn at 1-3 coming in. And as we said before the break, Dave, John Glenn's offense especially looking for more consistency, and they don't need it any more prevalent than at quarterback here tonight.
They really need a good performance from Noah Windland here. Last week, as I said, they relied heavily on Lincoln Gilcher, and he really had a fantastic game, over 200 yards, but he did put the ball on the ground once when they were getting ready to score inside the 10-yard line, so not a good turnover for him in that situation either. Noah threw a late interception in that game as well. All told, 5 turnovers in that game, and you still win. That's pretty good. That's kind of like this game I went to last Sunday. Some team from Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati, who had 5 turnovers.
I know that broke your heart like mine.
Yes, it did.
Lincoln Gilcher is rushing for over just about 4.5 yards a carry, so 6 touchdowns on the year. Doing a fine job in the running game, certainly, and Ryder Rock spells him on occasion. He's averaging over 4 yards a carry as well. This is going to be their, I would say, their first or second biggest test against a front 7 in Sheridan tonight that they've had all year.
And I think, too, is if you remember back the first game of the year, we did the Fort Fry game here, and his receivers have to help him out some, too. They've got to make some plays for him. They got to make some catches. They got to make some catches and gain some yards after the catch as well. You remember in that first game, there were a couple balls early. He threw very well on target, and just the play didn't get made. So he needs his receivers to help him out, too. And I think sometimes that can be a tough thing for your offense, especially the linemen. You get used to one particular cadence or something that could throw you off, but they're more comfortable doing it, and they've been successful.
Well, they're between Reed Packer, the quarterback, and their number 1 running back, Alex Poyer. They've rushed for over 625 yards and 10 touchdowns already through the first 4 games, and they're averaging about 7.5 yards a carry combined between the two. So obviously, that offensive line's been doing its job, and they've been blowing up some people up front.
Well, that's what Coach Culver would love to do. I mean, he's all about being physical and being the most physical team, and that's going to be in establishing the run and running the football and being able to run the football whenever you want to. And that's just going to be what Sheridan's going to try to do. They mix that pass in basically to keep you honest, but again, they want to put a physical team out there that can run the football, and that's going to be their MO. And can John Glenn stop them is going to be what we're going to have to see tonight.
So we're just a few moments away here from kickoff on this one. Our pregame again sponsored by TK Auto Services east of New Concord. And our many thanks, our video crew tonight on YPRtv, Brett Klein, Mike Mitchell, Paige Meadows, and glad you're with us here on the FM side as well. Want to give a few shout-outs, too, to Mark Blatt, Mike Blatt, Danny Engold, all the basketball crew. And let's see who else. Kent and Linda Pattison. Also, too, my best bud from high school from the class of 1991, Bill Tilley, just married last weekend for the first time. And his wife, Terry Tilley, now is, I'm still not quite used to that. So, Mike, congratulations to Bill and Terry Tilley, who are going to start new life together. Just came back from their honeymoon, and I'm expecting they are going to be here at the homecoming game tonight, classes of 91 and 93 respectively.
Speaking of the homecoming, how about the pregame, the alma mater, and the national anthem by that group of students from John Glenn? Fantastic. Phenomenal. That was really good.
Absolutely.
Just a really good thing that they did here before the game. That was fantastic. Shout-outs again. My daughter Holly and her husband Michael in Madison, Wisconsin. They've been watching all the live streaming.
Yes.
And my wife on the couch. She's been a YouTube person. Stay awake while the game's on tonight.
Now, does Hannah and the wife get together now? Do they tailgate on Montgomery Avenue?
We're gonna tailgate tomorrow night for the Muskingum University game.
Okay, I like it.
So.
And we have the kickoff by Sheridan, brought to you by Valentine Insurance. It's taken at the 13. That's Lane Hall. Leaps over a pile of bodies. Ball came loose, but I think the ground caused the fumble around the 31-yard line, and they will roll it down. And a 19-yard return for Lane Hall as the John Glenn offense will get started. The front line for JG, Nick Zanders, 215-pound junior tackle. Noah Scheffler, 200-pound junior guard. Gunnar Fox in the middle. Here on homecoming night, a senior at 250 pounds. Clay Mathers, a sophomore at 245 on the right side with Ethan Derwachter, 195-pound senior tackle on the right side. Nathan Walker, 6'4", senior receiver. 5'11", junior Gates Thompson, number 13. And Lane Hall, 5'8", 150-pound junior, number 11. Trips receivers near side left. And Noah Windland, the 6'1", 180-pound junior quarterback, will keep it on the first play from scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard at best. And it will be second and long here to start out. Logan Gilcher, the sophomore running back at 165 pounds.
Not much room there on that first running play. And again, 4 wide receivers here for John Glenn, trying to spread Sheridan out a little bit here across the front.
Receiver Joey Wentland groups the trips receivers to the left side. A handoff to Gilcher. Gilcher off the left side of that line. Tough sledding there up to the 34-yard line. Picks up about 2.5 to bring up a 3rd and 7. The Generals defense, they'll play mostly a 3-man front with 3 linebackers. They'll play a nickel package most of the night. Cole Davis, Reese Hale, and Hunter Zizik up front on that front 3 for the red and charcoal gray. Bo Hayden and Thomas Helsel, the outside linebackers. Alex Poyer, the middle linebacker. Andrew Holden, A.J. Winders, the corners. 3rd and 7 pass over the middle. It's too high and nearly picked off by Andrew Holden, number 11, who had a dive forward around the midfield stripe. And the first Windland pass goes incomplete, and it looks like a 3-and-out for the home squad.
Unfortunately there, he didn't have much room to try to fit that ball in, so basically a good thing that the defender couldn't get his hands on it and corral that one. Incompletion there, and that's not the way John Glenn wanted to start this one, having to punt the ball to Sheridan after 3-and-out.
Nathan Walker now back to punt it for the first time. And back to receive it, Andrew Holden for Sheridan. No, and Walker takes his time getting that one away. A line drive kick taken at the 30. Holden has it, and he'll return it up ahead of the 35 to the far sideline at the 36.
He did that rugby-style kick all last week, and a couple of times I thought it was going to get blocked like on that one.
I like the rugby-style kick. I don't like it when a defender is bearing about 2 yards in front of you. And they just did not have a huge sense of urgency, but it worked out for him. And Sheridan takes over at their own 37. The offensive line for the Generals across the front left to right. Noah Miller, 240-pound senior tackle. Hunter Zizik, 195 senior. Jacob Ramey, the center, at 190 pounds a senior. Jack Robinette, a sophomore, at 280 at a guard. And Bryden Gladstone, 245-pound senior at a tackle. So 4 of the 5 up front are seniors. Drew Boyer, 5'11", senior receiver, number 2. Austin Clifton, another 6'2" receiver, senior, number 15. And Andrew Holden, number 11. All 3 seniors in the wideouts. The tight end, Casey Johnson, 83. And then the keeper rolling out, running forward is Packer. Gets a block, a seal block from the outside, and runs for a first down on Sheridan's first play. A WB Green Insurance first down up to the 50 and a gain of 13. Chased out by Cody Shade and company.
As you pointed out in the pregame, Packer, very dangerous. Held the ball, looked like it was going to be a handoff. Still almost passed the ball as well. A little run-pass option there. And averaging over 9 a carry. Picked up 13 there, so he's well above his average to start off this football game.
Muskie D front three, all seniors. Gunnar Fox 55, Brandon Baker 68, and Ethan Durwachter 72 across the front right to left. And there's a handoff for big running back Poyer, and he powers his way, carrying maroon and white tacklers with him up near the 40, and another first down perhaps, and they will say first down, a gain of 10 on Alex Poyer's first carry, a 205-pound senior Bulldog.
With 23 yards on 2 carries here so far. Sheridan doing what they want to do is run the football.
Linebacking core for John Glenn, Cameron Barnhouse and Nathan Walker, number 3 and 10 on the outside. Connor Sensabaugh, 45, a junior on the inside, along with Cash Smith, number 4, a 185-pound junior. Secondary we'll get to in a moment. From the pistol, 3 wide receivers. The motion receiver now is Spencer Showalter, and he'll get it outside on the sweep, down to the 20, 15, far sideline, still on his feet, and he finally chased out of bounds by Lane Hall, the safety, at the 15 of John Glenn, but another big gain of 25.
Boy, the quarterback did such a nice job of holding that ball to the last minute, got that pitch, and there was all kinds of room out there for Showalter. 25 yards on that carry, and they're knocking on the door already here, Dave.
Yep, right now Sheridan having its way with gains of 10, 13, and now 25. 3 wide receivers, Holden out to the Clifton out to the far side left, and 2 more to the near side right. Poyer on the fake handoff. The quarterback will keep it this time, and this time Packer was smothered by the JG defense after a gain of 1. Nathan Walker was up there in a blitz along with Connor Sensabaugh Jr. 2nd and 9. 9.5 and counting here in the first quarter. Opening drive for the Generals, and they're looking to put the first points on the board.
Packer does a really nice job handling the ball in the backfield. I mean, he's really executed his fakes well. He said he held the ball and made that last-second pitch on his last play before that one. So doing a really nice job running the show here for Sheridan.
And again out of the pistol, Poyer the running back. They give it to Poyer straight ahead, and a mass of humanity there. But Poyer bounces off of that to the right side, gets to 15, and he'll pick up, let's see, what do we call that, 3? Poyer will exit the lineup here to the near sideline after that carry. And his replacement will be Justin Munyon, 6'1", 185-pound junior, number 20 in the backfield, about 2 steps behind the quarterback, Packer. Tight end Casey Johnson comes to the right side to provide a lead block. Quarterback keeps it, finds some space on the right side. Sensabaugh wraps him up around the 8-yard line, but the forward progress of the QB will get him to the 6. 4th down, and it will be about a yard short, or just a hair less than a yard for the first down. And Sheridan has their 4th down offense in.
I didn't think there's any way there would be a field goal kicked here.
Not the way they've been moving the ball, though John Glenn has bottled them up nicely here between the tackles the last couple of plays. And we'll see if they can muster here. 2 receivers out wide to the left side. Poyer back in at running back, and he'll carry it straight ahead. Bottled up near the line of scrimmage, but that big Sheridan offensive line may have got just enough of a surge to get him ahead of the 5 to the 4, and a Sheridan first down after a gain of about a yard and a half.
John Glenn did a nice job on the initial stop there, but big and strong, and had a little extra push there from behind, and picks up that first down to bring up 1st and goal here.
Well, this is a good size Sheridan lineup. You got 240 at 5, 240, 280, 195 across the front. And then Poyer packs another 205 pounds in there at running back, punching at you all the time. It's this is not a small, dainty lineup. Clifton and Showalter lead the receivers to the far side, right through the line. Munyon found a space right between the tackles and scores for Sheridan from 4 yards out for the game's first touchdown to make it a 6-0 game, 7:11 to play in the first quarter.
Boy, nice little hole there opened up, and he scored it right through there and got in the end zone for a touchdown. And that's just what the doctor ordered for Sheridan. They would like to run the ball and score a touchdown first, and they did.
Justin Munyon with a 4-yard TD plunge. The holder is Andrew Holden. And the kick by Spencer Showalter is up and good. The senior punches it through for a 7-0 Sheridan advantage early on the Generals' first drive of the game. 4:19 on that possession. And we'll come back here in 30 seconds. We'll see what the Muskie offense can muster here on homecoming night in New Concord. A beautiful evening. And the Muskies trailing at those 7-0. We'll be right back on AVC Sports and on NASH Icon FM.
This is Ross Abel.
Rice and Rock.
So now Winland 0 for 1 throwing the ball. A couple of running plays from Winland and Gilcher to start out. Right now, most importantly, time for John Glenn to try to gain control of that line of scrimmage, which they have struggled with here at least through the first possession of each side. Winland from the pistol. Gilcher off the right side, fishes his way forward and picks up maybe a yard, and that's about it. Again, Sheridan bottling that up, stuffing that one. Linebacker Thomas Helser was in there, number 59.
John Glenn going to have to find some space here on first down. They're getting a bad down in distance, and they don't want to have to rely on Winland to try to throw the ball and pick up those big first down, those big chunk yardages to get first down. So, again, they're going to have to do better here on first and second down.
Cody Shade, 17, is the wide receiver out to the near side left, along with Gates Thompson in the slot. Walker, number 10, is out to the far side. Larrick, the tight end, blocking back to the right side of the line. Our sponsors tonight on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM: White Pillars Christmas, TK Auto, Dirtworks of Ohio, AMG Vanadium, Valentine Insurance, Abel's Electric, and Southeastern Med. Sheridan now on their second possession, already leading at 7-0. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter here in New Concord. 3 receivers, motion man. They'll fake the jet sweep. Quarterback keeps it himself. And this is Keaton Sheridan with his first run of the night as he's back there in the QB slot. Picks up a good 7 up to the 44-yard line. So number 13, Keaton Sheridan, a 5'11", 205-pound, another senior on this daunting football squad that Paul Culver III has put together this year.
Yeah, not afraid to bring in the other quarterback.
So number 13, Sheridan, quarterbacking Sheridan. 2 receivers left, 1 right. That's near side receiver Showalter. Holden and Clifton to the far side. Handoff comes to Munyon again, and Munyon's on the loose again, breaks a tackle, and he could be gone down the right sideline to the 10-5 and scores for the Generals. And a 56-yard touchdown run, coupled with Justin Munyon's 4-yard run on the last drive, and the Sheridan Generals have taken command early here with 4:02 to play in this opening quarter, a 13-0 advantage.
Munyon, again, once he broke that initial contact, lots of space, and he took it to the house. 2 touches, 2 touchdowns for Mr. Munyon.
Andrew Holden will be the holder again, as Showalter will attempt the point after for the right footer. And a little bit of a high snap, gets it down and puts it just inside the left upright and good. And the Generals cruising right now on the offensive side of things, already over 100 yards rushing in 2 possessions, and they have put together a 14-0 lead over the John Glenn Little Muskies. We'll take a short timeout, 30 seconds. We'll be back here on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM with more high school football here in week number 5 in a moment.
White Pillars Christmas House is a proud sponsor of Muskingum County High School football. Located at 7405 East Pike in Norwich, the Christmas House is your...
Under 4 minutes remaining in the quarter and a 14-0 Sheridan advantage already. Walker, the motion man, will be the lead blocker, trying to open up a hole for Gilcher. Gilcher finds a little space and bounces his way to the 31, picking up about 2. That's been one of the longer plays from scrimmage, unfortunately, for JG.
And that's Gilcher's 4th carry for only 6 yards. So Sheridan doing a nice job keeping him under wraps tonight.
And John Glenn, I would imagine here for much of this game here, I think wants to slow this game down and take their time probably in between plays. I think maybe typically they would rather play a little bit up-tempo offense, but We're trying to give that defense a breather here a little bit too. A little quick out pass to Gates Thompson, slips a tackle. Thompson lowers the shoulder and lowers the boom on tackler and quarterback Reed Packer, who comes in and bounces right back up off the turf in front of the Sheridan sideline. That was a major league collision, but the first WB Green Insurance first down for the Muskies after a gain of 13.
Nice pitch and catch there, and that was an easy one. He just got the snap and fired it out there.
11-yard pickup. My mistake. Bad math here, partner.
That's all right.
Long time since 1989, bro. And our first down, Lincoln Gilcher, straight ahead, tackled in the backfield, and brought down at the ankles by Colton Reedy, the linebacker. Knifed in, unblocked, and brings down the running back after a loss of a yard.
Just not much room there for Gilcher anywhere tonight. I mean, he's just had, somebody has been in his face every time he seems to touch a football, so going to have to do a better job against that front. And, you know, Sheridan is a 3-3-5 team, and normally that makes you a little bit susceptible to the run, but that front three is doing a really nice job.
Yeah, the linebacking core is finding some gaps through the offensive line. Rolling out on 2nd and 11 is Windland, throwing toward the sideline, finds Walker, got him. Near a first down at the Sheridan 47. They'll mark him out at the 46, it looks like, and the chains will move after a gain of 12 on that pass play, and a nice-looking rollout pass completion, the first one of the night for Windland, and a WB Green Insurance first down.
I think that's something they need to do with Windland, is get him on the move, because that's going to negate that pressure they're putting right up the middle of the field on you. So get him out on his, and he's got some wheels, he can run, so, and he can throw on the run, as he just proved there.
Walker and Shea, the receivers, to the right. Gates Thompson, 13 to the left. Gilcher again remains in at running back behind Windland on 1st and 10. Handoff. Gilcher hit right at the line of scrimmage, and nothing doing right there as the big guys of the red and gray, Cole Davis in particular, defensive end, a 225-pound junior, stopped that play dead.
This is what John Glenn needed. They've got a couple first downs now, and they've got a little momentum on offense. If they can convert here and keep moving the football, they might get a chance to get some points on the board and get back in this one.
Windland will survey. Play clock down to 5 now, so they'll have to zip this one through a little bit. 3 receivers again for Windland. And timeout is called by Matt Edwards, as he was a little uncomfortable with what was about to take place on 2nd and 10. So we have a timeout on the field. We will keep it here for the moment. Our game tonight here on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM, brought to you by Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green, West 40 Auto Sales, White Pillars Christmas, and Abel's Electric.
John Glenn, I think, Coach, you're exactly right. Coach Edwards did want to pull the trigger on something he didn't feel comfortable with there. 2nd and 10, it's a big possession in the game. You're already down 14. You've got a couple of first downs. You want to keep that momentum going, so that's probably a good use of the timeout there. Make sure everybody's on the same page, see what they can come up with here on this big 2nd and 10 play here. Just over a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Well, there just has not been Gilcher. Pretty much his carries have been really between the tackles. There has not been much room, if any at all. We haven't really seen a lot of outside running just yet, but we know Sheridan defense is equally as fast getting sideline to sideline also. Motion man is Cash Smith, trying to provide a block for Gilcher, and Gilcher is brought down at the line of scrimmage again at the 45. Still no gain on that. 3rd and 10 coming up after a couple of successful plays here for the first time tonight.
And that's Gilcher's 7th carry, and he only has 5 yards here so far in this one.
So Cash Smith is going to exit. They're going to bring in another blocking back. Joey Wentland Jr., an extra receiver, will come out to the far left side, number 9. So now Matt Edwards and the Muskie offense on 3rd and 10 will go 4 wide. Gilcher in the backfield. And they snap it, fake handoff, right down the seam. Walker has it. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. What a grab inside the 30 of Sheridan as he took a wallop at the last moment and pulls in a big 16-yard reception, first down. WB Green Insurance first down for JG.
And as we said in the pregame, his receivers have got to do something to help him out. And boy, Nathan Walker went up and got one there. A really nice catch that he looked like he took away from the defender. So got a receiver helping him out a little bit, and that's going to end our first quarter.
And I'm going to guess that maybe Nathan Walker during this period will say, hey, partner, how about we get that throw down just a little bit lower next time?
Down just a little bit. Yeah.
14-0 Sheridan over John Glenn after one quarter. Muskies driving at the Sheridan 29-yard line. We'll take this timeout. Our scoreboard update by White Pillars Christmas House coming up.
The car is making a strange noise. Then the worry starts. Who can we trust to fix the vehicle that won't cost an arm and a leg? TK Auto Service is the answer. They're the area's garage that treats customers fair and repairs what needs repaired. No upsells to drive the cost up. TK Auto Service, east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Their patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to their facility, they're following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today to learn more.
Welcome back to New Concord here on homecoming night. Gorgeous evening, perfect weather-wise. Davidson, Dave Hilliard, and our YRP crew of Brett Klein, Mike Mitchell, and Paige Meadows.
Got a quick White Pillars Christmas store scoreboard update. Riverview leads Meadowbrook 11-0 with 4:39 left in the first quarter. And I would like to know how they scored 11.
Well,
that's kind of an interesting number there, but it's 11-0.
Probably not quite as interesting as how Iowa scored 7 a week ago.
Yeah.
And that pass, a little flare pass, dumped right over the middle. They were trying to set up maybe a little middle screen to Gilcher, and that one zipped right over the shoulder pad of Gilcher, incomplete. Gilcher had just not quite turned around in time, and a little mistiming on that pass attempt on first down and 10.
I mean, Winland is throwing the ball with some zip on it, so I give him credit. He looks very confident at least, so he's got some zip on the football tonight. He's made some nice throws.
Number 10, Walker in motion, coming to the left side, providing a lead block. It's a little seam for Gilcher. Gilcher gets his biggest run of the night so far, clipped down at the 23-yard line. And that was Packer, the safety, who made the perhaps first down or touchdown saving tackle there. A gain of about 7 for Gilcher on his biggest gain of the night. That almost doubles his yardage.
It did, 12. He's got 12 yards now. And that was the first time he's had any real space. So credit to him to find the hole and get through there for the nice game.
No doubt. 3rd and a long 3 now. Gilcher remains in. 3 receivers. Walker in the motion man coming left to right. And handing it off. Gilcher trying to spin through the line. Gilcher is spun up and bottled up by Bo Hayden, the linebacker, who finished off the tackle on Gilcher. So no gain on the play as the ball remains at the 23-yard line of Sheridan, and John Glenn will have to get to just inside the 20, it looks like. First minute gone here, the second quarter, 14-0 Sheridan.
I think with Gilcher, you got to remember he's a sophomore. You know, it's impressive that he's played
the kick, and that's going to go against Sheridan.
Offside.
Someone lined up in the neutral zone trying to get a little cheating advantage on the block attempt. Evan Rector, sophomore kicker. Will they? Well, they'll refuse it. So,
the whistle blew before the kick, though. So it's not anything they can decline.
So they'll refuse the penalty. They have no intentions of trying for 2. They'll have confidence in their sophomore kicker, Rector. And he boots it right down the middle and through. And so the score was 7:56 to play second quarter. Sheridan 14, John Glenn 7. And our coverage of week number 5 high school football here on AVC Sports will continue after these words.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Back to New Concord's John Glenn High School field on homecoming night. A little happier for the home squad right now as they get their first score of the game. 14-7 Sheridan here with just under 8 to play in this first half.
That was a great drive there from John Glenn. As we said, they needed an answer there. Windland throwing the football. He did a really nice job, made some nice throws. His receivers finally made some plays for him. So again, John Glenn put together a nice drive, got in the end zone. Now we got ourselves a football game again here, Dave. 14-7, 7:56 to go until halftime.
Right now you got the momentum back. You've weathered the storm. You've got some momentum back. Now don't let your foot off the gas. If you're John Glenn, here's Evan Rector with a kickoff. It's taken at the 14, and that is Showalter running across the field right, looking for some space. Got some. He's into the second tier of the coverage team across the 40 near the 42-yard line. Fine return of 28 yards for Spencer Showalter.
Just going to say that you don't want to give up a big kick return to give them some momentum back.
No.
Once you did all that work on offense to get the momentum. So,
kickoff brought to you by Valentine Insurance. 7:47 to play first half. And they will remain with Caden Sheridan, 5'11 senior at QB, number 13. Reed Packer led the first 2 touchdown drives. Packer plays on the defensive side, though, is what's different there, Dave. And
yes, he does.
They may be giving him spelling him a little bit of breathing time on the offensive side while they have the lead. Handoff straight ahead. That's Poyer. Boy, he just mashes things forward, and that offensive line just plunges right through like a rugby scrum, and it's another 7 yards for the big fullback, Alex Poyer.
That's his 4th carry for 22 yards. A little White Pillars Christmas store scoreboard update. Cambridge 7, Bel Air 6. You said Valentine Insurance made me think of JV. He's doing that game over there with Bill Kafuri tonight. 7-6 Cambridge, 3:43 to go in the first quarter.
That's a Bel Air squad that's rebounded now. They had some lean years in recent times in the last decade or so, but they're back on their way up. Sheridan on a play fake, looking deep down the middle, and good coverage by Lane Hall. And the helmet popped off on Spencer Showalter as he came to the turf at the 10-yard line. So Lane Hall, nice speed, maybe recovery speed right there. Showalter had a step or so on him there, but finally thrown ball, but just better coverage.
Nice coverage there, and first pass attempt of the ball game here came with 7:03 to go in the second quarter for Sheridan. So they're 0 for 1 throwing the football, but that was a good shot there to take a short down and distance here for him on 3rd down.
You can bet the ranch this one's going to be handed off here.
Just came out of the ball game here, maybe fortunately for John Glenn a little bit.
Ryder Rock, number 6, the safety, along with Lane Hall on the strong side, number 11. Jake Johnson and Kobe Shade, the corners, 15 and 17 respectively. Now Sheridan's going to spread things out a little bit with 3 wide receivers. And Coach Culver did not quite like the setup as the play clock was coming down swiftly. So with 5:52 to play in the second quarter, 14-7 Sheridan over John Glenn.
You know, that's one of those too. Again, I think Coach Culver was in one of those positions where he knows how important this possession is now too, because John Glenn has scored. They got some momentum back. It's a ball game again. It's 14-7. They want to answer themselves. They don't want to make a mistake here on a short, it's 2nd and 4. They don't want a mistake here because the way they've been running the football, they ought to be able to pick up a first down if they got a couple shots at it.
Yep.
So, again, I would think he just did not want to make a mistake there.
Our player of the game for tonight is sponsored by Lock 9 Pizza in Duncan Falls. And some of our AVC Sports football sponsors tonight as follows: TK Auto, AMG Vanadium, Dirtworks of Ohio, Southeastern Med, Abel's Electric, West 40 Auto Sales, and patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance.
Another White Pillars Christmas store scoreboard update. Big game with New Lex and Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley leads that one 7-6 in the second quarter.
New Lex, a very feisty squad this year. They are back up. 3 receivers for Sheridan on a 2nd and 4. And the handoff goes to Munyon off the right side of the line. Cash Smith and company, number 4, wrap him up around the 35, make that. So about a yard or so short of the first down after a gain of close to 3.
First time he's touched it and didn't score a touchdown, so that's a positive for John Glenn.
That's a positive. 4 yards, 56 yards, 3 yards.
It did pick up enough to bring up a really short 3rd and 1 here for Sheridan. And the clock running here. Boy, this is going to be a fast one, Dave. 5:18 left here until halftime.
And right now, only 6 pass attempts really for the game, I think, between the two teams, just off the top of my head. Here's
John Glenn's had 7
Sheridan
attempts.
off the pistol. Poyer is stacked up. Great defensive play by Walker, and Cash Smith bottled that up. But I want to tell you what, Durwachter, I think 72, is the one who really bottled things up in there. And then the linebacking core of Walker and company came in and stood up Poyer immediately.
Actually a loss of 1 there, so the first time they've managed to get Poyer to the ground and without a big pickup there. So nice defense there, and as you said, a lot of people responsible for that one, but nice job there by John Glenn. Now, huge 4th down in the ball game here, Dave.
You said it, 4.5 and counting. First half, 14-7 Sheridan over John Glenn. They were in New Concord.
And Coach Culver's
and
thinking about
looks
it
like
over
they're
here.
going to think a while longer, and they're going to signal for a timeout. With the play clock down to 3, they want some extra time to think about this. They'll burn timeout number 2, and we will keep it here. For the moment, our YPRtv crew, we got a nice shot of the back of the head of Mike Mitchell right here, just right off of Dave Hilliard's right shoulder here. Mike Mitchell and Paige Meadow, our camera crew, and producer Brett Klein.
Now, I will tell you, he gets revenge because he'll bring that camera up here and set it up here. And for the post game, we will be on the camera.
Well, not unless he wants it broken. That thing will instantly break when you point it in my direction.
Another White Pillars Christmas store scoreboard update. Heath leads Zanesville 8-0, and that is in the first quarter as well. Try to check out, we've got other games on our family of stations tonight. Meadowbrooks at Riverviews, we've given a score there. Shenandoah is at Union Local, that's on 93 BVN. Bel Air at Cambridge with our buddy JV and Bill Kafuri, that's on WILE 97.7, and it's also a YouTube game. That Meadowbrook Riverview game is on KC 105 tonight.
So a 4th and 2 play now after some extra discussion. Caden Sheridan remains in at QB. Poyer, the running back, 3 receivers. And tight end coming in motion left to right. Fake handoff, looking to throw, out to the right side. Oh, and is it too low? No, it hit the turf, it's incomplete. Intended receiver Ryan Kuhn, 6-foot junior, unable to scoop it up off the turf before it hit. And boy, a bit of a surprise play call there, I think, by,
I am shocked.
You know what I mean? I know sometimes, teams, once in a while they'll outguess themselves a little bit, but
I'm
really shocked that they didn't trust that into their front 5 and mash it ahead.
Their bread and butter is running the football. You got 4th down, and if you're Coach Culver, you got confidence in your offensive line of the way they've run the football tonight. Hey, we're going to go get this 4th down. We're going to run the football here.
That's Sheridan's first attempt?
That was their second pass attempt.
And and the first by Sheridan, I think.
That was Sheridan's first attempt. Yep.
Caden Sheridan, I mean.
Yeah, I know.
You got to differentiate between the two.
You got to switch gears there. Yeah.
Gilcher on first down on the right side. Nothing working there up to the 36. And just getting back maybe to the line of scrimmage, and barely that. Under 4 minutes and counting. Sheridan leading by a touchdown, 14-7. They scored on their first 2 possessions of the evening with Reed Packer at QB. Now Windland after a touchdown, leading a touchdown drive for John Glenn. They're going to go flea flicker here. Walker looking to throw and cannot get it going as they went double reverse. Gilcher 27 to Nathan Walker, and Walker wanting Kobe Shade to hit it downfield, and Walker got wrapped up before he was able to get that pass off. So a little razzle-dazzle by Matt Edwards, and it did not pan out this time, a loss of 7.
I get they're trying to make a big play there, but that was a tough one. That was just a tough play there.
Well, if nothing else, maybe it'll give just a little extra something for that Sheridan defense to think
exactly.
about.
And I think Walker made a good decision not trying to force it. A lot of times those receivers get their hands on it, and they're going to do a nice job of that last week because they go on the clap, and they drew Coshocton a couple of times doing that. So I'm sure that's well been on the Sheridan defensive line coaches' minds this week as well. You got to watch the football. You're always preaching to this kids. Watch the football. Watch the football.
Well, I know. I mean, it seems so simple.
Yeah.
When you're down on 3-point stance, probably you're looking, maybe at the ball. It doesn't move, but you got all these other things dancing in your head. Good grief, we've seen college and pro players jump offside and do that stuff. And you think, how in the world does that happen?
All the time. It just does.
So just a tick under 2 minutes to go. Line of scrimmage just short of the 35-yard line of John Glenn. Nathan Walker back in punt formation. And Andrew Holden is back to receive the punt at his own 25. And a low snap back to Walker. This time he'll just punt it straight away. This one wobbles toward the near sideline. Takes a nice John Glenn bounce. A beautiful bounce out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Not exactly what Walker was looking for, but sometimes the ball bounces your way.
That was a wounded duck. That was the definition of a wounded duck, as that fluttered in the air. But, boy, nice bounce. And
the statistics aren't going to show that, is it? Nope.
Yeah. It was a great punt.
Pretty solid punt, 40 yards on the net. Now work him out at the 26-yard line, 39 unofficially. A minute 49 to go. Sheridan up a touchdown, 14-7 here late first half. And we'll see just how aggressive they elect to be here on the offensive end. Right now it's just important for John Glenn to finish out this half strong and not allow the big play here. 3 receivers wide right, 1 to the left. It's Clifton. And Caden Sheridan, the QB for the Generals, will take a monster hit. Sensabaugh wraps him up, and then Walker's shoulder charges him down to the turf after a gain of 1 to the 27 as he was trying to scramble outside right.
That's one of those, when you bring in this many receivers, you're giving John Glenn a little bit more space there for that front 4 of theirs to move and get some penetration.
Trips receivers left. Sheridan again looking to throw. Pretty good protection. A high throw. Comes down, and the ball is caught by Sheridan's A.J. Winders with his first reception out of bounds around the 35 of Sheridan. They'll be a yard short of the first down, a gain of 8. Clock continuing. That's right, play went out of bounds there. He was tackled out of bounds, not inbounds. So clock at 1:16 to go second quarter. Sheridan trying to add to their 14-7 lead here on this drive. 3 receivers right, and Munyon the running back. Sheridan fakes it to him, has lots of space out to the right side. First down and more, across the 45, runs out of bounds at the 50, and now a late flag comes in way behind the play by the referee, and that is bad news for the visitors.
That's usually going to be one of those holding that's really
that was really way away from the play. I'm thinking.
And it's a hold. That's going to come back. Boy, that's a huge call right there. That's going to negate a really big run from Sheridan.
Boy, oh boy.
From Sheridan for Sheridan.
Yeah, Sheridan. QB, Caden Sheridan, had 15 yards on the run. The penalty flag is assessed at the 42. They'll move it back to the 32-yard line with that 10-yard mark off. So 3rd down and 4 coming. 1:08 to go in this second quarter, and now Caden Sheridan will get the play directly from Coach Culver and the staff. And we'll see what they draw up on this 3rd and 4 play. Big moment here for JG's defense if they can end this drive early. 4 receivers for Sheridan. Pump fakes, a little pump and go down the left sideline, and it is out of bounds. Great catch, but the play was out of bounds as the ball took him airborne just out at the John Glenn 31-yard line. Nice air under the throw, and Winders with a nice over-the-shoulder catch, but all for naught.
And just under a minute here, so 4th and 4, definitely going to be a punt here from Sheridan. They don't want to make a mistake here at this point in the game. give John Glenn a short field. One of those you hold your breath a little bit about when you have the receivers on the move like that, but he made a nice catch, advanced the football all the way into Sheridan territory. So now Coach Edwards has got to be thinking, we got a chance here. There's 50 seconds left. We got some timeouts here. We can, clock stops if there's a first down. Also, if the ball it's tackled out of bounds.
At it, but lost his footing at the 38-yard line of John Glenn. Incomplete. Showalter, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10 coming up with 35 seconds left for the Generals at their own 48.
Well, the receiver wasn't even looking for that, so that was a tough play. Which Rock probably had the better chance at making the interception there.
Sheridan with plenty of time, 15 seconds on the play clock. And we'll send out 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Holden and Winders to the near side. And Sheridan on the scramble now will be wrapped up. And a nice open field tackle. Defensive tackle Clay Mathers. Defensive tackle with 245 pounds. A sophomore coming in and spelling Blandon Baker here on this possession. Comes up with a nice tackle for loss of 1.
And I think that's probably going to be the last play that Sheridan's going to attempt.
Clay Mathers single-handedly put an end to this.
Yes, he did.
First half here on that open field tackle. Nice job, nice response by the John Glenn Little Muskies here. Sheridan, of course, after a dominating performance in the first 8-9 minutes of this game, took a 14-0 advantage quickly. Justin Munyon with touchdown runs of 4 yards and 56 yards. 14-0 after 1 for Sheridan, and then Noah Windland leads a 71-yard drive and caps it off with a 1-yard TD plunge for John Glenn. So, JG and I think Matt Edwards has got to be really pleased with how these kids have responded after getting punched in the mouth early.
Exactly. They got hit hard. First 2 possessions for Sheridan. They stick it in the end zone and basically run the ball at will. So that's a big turnaround in the football game. John Glenn, as we said in that possession, they needed to get some first down, string some things together. They kept the momentum. They got in the end zone, made it a football game, and now their defense has risen to the occasion. So John Glenn back in the football game here on homecoming.
And, with Mitch Bendel on the defensive side for John Glenn, he's, a lot of experience on his coaching staff. He seems to, just to be able to, most of the time, to push the right buttons, especially on the defensive side. This linebacking core is without Bronson Bendel and without Aiden Armstrong. I would say they're probably number 1 and number 2 linebackers coming into the season to start. Right. They're both out for extended time. And, Sensabaugh and now Cash Smith in particular have, in that middle of that defense here, they've responded in that second quarter especially. So we've got the homecoming festivities coming up. Maria Nikolazakis, our homecoming queen. I know you want to say, we'll give you a chance to say that name. We've been dying to say that. Our homecoming queen for 2022. And a great crowd on hand, tons of people here. Parking at a minimum.
Well, if you get here early enough, it's no problem.
That's right. I had a little bit of a longer walk here tonight, buddy. So our halftime score, 14-7, Sheridan over John Glenn. Our halftime report brought to you by Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance. And we'll take time out here on the radio side. Our ONN halftime feature coming up here on NASH Icon FM. And we'll return on NASH Icon and on YPRtv on YouTube and on Facebook in our halftime report.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, it's Taco Bell's Double Steak Grilled Cheese Burrito. Don't know if you heard, but it has double steak, cheese grilled on top of it, and nacho cheese sauce inside.
Ooh, let me have a bite.
Nah, you're already cheesy enough with all your dad jokes.
And I keep all my jokes in a dad-a-base.
Leave me alone. I'm hungry.
No, you're Dave. Hungry is a country.
Taco Bell's Double Steak Grilled Cheese Burrito is back. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary. Double the steak claim is compared to the steak quesadilla.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in high school football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tonight in High School Football's Halftime Reports, where this evening we'll talk some Southwest Ohio football and visit with Mike Dyer, who has covered Cincinnati area high school sports for many years for WCPO in Cincy. We'll chat with Mike next on the Ohio News Network.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Beck's, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
I'm Scott Demaro, president of the Ohio Education Association, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. OEA members teach in Ohio's public schools and universities. We drive your kids' buses and serve them lunch. We're school nurses, custodians, librarians, and more. And we coach your kids on the field. We believe in great public schools for every student, and we believe our team is always stronger when we stand together, just as we have for 175 years.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game broadcast as we talk a little Southwest Ohio high school football this evening. Mike Dyer has covered high school sports for WCPO.com for many years. And Mike, let's talk some Cincinnati area football. We'll begin in Division I. Boy, Moeller has looked terrific. Are they for real?
They really are, Skip. I tell you what, a Division I state semifinalist a year ago, and they're certainly going to be knocking on the door to Canton when it comes to December, I think, this year. So really impressive win over Our Lady of Good Counsel, team out of Maryland, a powerhouse, 39-31 there in Ironton last week. And junior running back Jordan Marshall, he's definitely a player to watch. Almost 600 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. And Coach Mark Elder really has this team clicking as they open up the GCL South at St. Xavier tonight, and certainly a tough schedule all the way around this season.
A couple of other teams there in Region 4. Princeton still unbeaten. Elder's 3-1, but they both look really good.
Yeah, Elder only lost to Lakewood St. Ed's by 3 points, obviously, last week, 17-14. Led at halftime. But Coach Doug Ramsey, been at this a long time, certainly going to have the Panthers ready to go when it comes to the second half of the season and the postseason. And then the big GMC matchup, you mentioned Princeton at 4-0 hosting Lakota West tonight. And the Vikings have outscored their opponents 125-0, Skip, the past 3 weeks. So really impressive start for the Vikings. They're putting up a lot of points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Division II, it seems Kings is always good. And Winton Woods, boy, they picked up right where they left off last year.
Yeah, Winton Woods defending Division II state champion, obviously, and 13 consecutive wins for the Warriors. I know a lot of people are looking at their recruiting, the college recruiting attention that they've received, including cornerback Jermaine Matthews, who's going to The Ohio State University. They have a running back, Trey Corniss, who's going to Georgia Tech, and they're really rolling along right now. And also in that Eastern Cincinnati Conference, you mentioned Kings 4-0. They're at Milford tonight, 4-0. Milford is 4-0 for the first time since 1977.
Wow.
So some really good stuff there in that conference.
Yeah, Division 4, Reading and Wyoming are both unbeaten. I know they play each other tonight, but, man, Wyoming has been just so dominant over the years.
Yeah, Skip. Wyoming, 61 consecutive regular season victories heading into tonight's game against Reading. They haven't lost in the regular season since October of 2015. C.J. Hester is a name to watch, senior running back. He's going to Western Michigan, but he tied a program record last week with 6 touchdowns against Indian Hill. He rushed for 281 yards. He's got 745 yards on the season and 12 touchdowns. the Cowboys have a lot going well for them right now.
You know, Division 5, Madera still a perfect 4-0. Look for them to, you know, maybe make some noise come the postseason as well.
Yeah, trying to be 5-0 for the first time since 2011, and they play Finneytown tonight. But Coach over there, Chris Stewart, he's really done a great job in his 5th season, and the Mustangs are really clicking on all cylinders.
You know, Mike, you mentioned the state finals, and while the folks up in Stark County do a wonderful job hosting the state championships, what's the feeling down in your area of the state as far as just, you know, maybe just getting those back a little bit closer to home occasionally?
Oh, certainly, Skip. It's the age-old argument. You know, you hear all the time people saying, hey, when's it ever going to come back down to Cincinnati, or, you know, at least maybe get it back in Columbus. But, you know, the drive is what it is. I mean, it's going to be long, but I think if you ask any of the teams, including Winton Woods last year, as I mentioned, Division II state champs from a year ago, I mean, they are just happy to be there. They would play in a parking lot behind a grocery store anywhere in the state of Ohio. So it's just fun to have that atmosphere. And if you win a state championship, I really don't think your fan base cares one way or another where it's going to be. You're going to be there if you're passionate enough about the student athletes and the coaches.
Mike Dyer has covered Cincinnati area high school sports for many years, does so now at WCPO.com. For folks around the state who want to keep up on Southwest Ohio high school football, what's all available there, Mike?
Definitely, Skip. I appreciate it. I have a weekly high school insider podcast there every Wednesday. Interview a lot of coaches. We do a lot of kind of features about some student athletes and kind of get some perspective around the greater Cincinnati high school football scene. We started that back in August and going to continue that all throughout the state finals, and you know, certainly have a lot of feature stories and previews and kind of a wrap up each Saturday morning of the results from Friday night, and getting a lot of coaches' perspectives and college recruiting information, you name it. You definitely want to check out the website. We have it all there for you.
Mike Dyer, thank you for hopping on tonight, talking a little Cincinnati area high school football. Appreciate it, okay?
Skip, I really appreciate the time. Thank you.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Kelsey Snyder from Shelby High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
I originally played it to get in shape for basketball, and now I don't even play basketball anymore. I just enjoy playing soccer.
So Kelsey's a two-sport athlete, soccer and softball. Of course, she's very active in the FFA as vice president back-to-back years, and she's always busy on the family farm.
We raise a small herd of boar goats at home, and we've done that since I was probably in kindergarten, so I've always had livestock around our house.
She knows the importance of agriculture. She lives it at home, in the FFA, and if all goes to plan, it's in her future as well.
Just the work involved in it. I mean, agriculture is huge. It's how we feed everybody. It means everything pretty much.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
All right, thanks again to Mike Dyer for talking a little Cincinnati high school football with us this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
High school football
From AVC Sports
and WYLE Cambridge, 107.9 Cambridge, 98.5 Zanesville, NASH Icon.
Halftime at New Concord, Ohio. Sheridan Generals leading the John Glenn Little Muskies here at homecoming for John Glenn. 14-7 here at halftime. Our halftime report tonight brought to you by Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance. And we appreciate them and all of our fine sponsors that have been taking care of our broadcast this season. First half action started off, looked like that Sheridan was going to run away with this one. It was 7-11 in the first quarter. Justin Munyon scored on a 4-yard touchdown run, and with the Showalter PAT, it was 7-0 Sheridan, and that ended in an 8-play, 68-yard drive. With 4:02 left in the first quarter, Munyon again, this time 56 yards away. Showalter PAT again, 14-0. Sheridan leading there at that point in the first quarter. In the second quarter, John Glenn got the momentum back, strung together some first downs, and with 7:56 to go until halftime, John Glenn scored Noah Windland on a 1-yard touchdown run. The Rector PAT made it 14-7, and that's where our score stands right now. John Glenn scoring, getting back in this football game, and taking the momentum back. Just super important possession in the football game, and nice job by Coach Edwards and the staff getting it done there. Statistically here, looking at Sheridan, and in their rushing attempts, Alex Poyer, he's got 6 attempts for 27 yards. One of those, the last time he touched it, he was denied. They actually pushed him back. So a nice defensive play there. One of the first times they got Poyer into the ground early. Justin Munyon, he's got 3 carries for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. The first 2 times he touched it, he got in the end zone. Reed Packer, the quarterback, he's got 3 carries for 19 yards. Caden Sheridan, quarterback number 2, he's got 4 carries for 22 yards. Showalter has got 1 carry for 25 yards, and Ruff has got 1 carry for 7 yards for Sheridan. Reed Packer throwing the football 0 for 1. Caden Sheridan 1 for 3, so, or excuse me, 1 for 4, so combined 1 for 5 passing the football. AJ Winders with the catch there, the only catch there for 8 yards, and that's going to round out the offensive statistics for Sheridan. John Glenn, they lean on Lincoln Gilcher to run the football, and he's got 12 carries but only 21 yards. And it started off his first 7 carries, he only had 5 yards, so he's picked it up a little bit there. John Glenn has actually created a little bit more space for Gilcher, but 12 carries, 21 yards. Noah Winland has carried the ball 3 times himself for 4 yards. One of those was a touchdown. And then Nathan Walker on a little bit of trickeration there. He lost 7 yards on a reverse where it looked like he was going to throw the football, so he's got 1 carry for -7 yards. Winland throwing the football, and we thought this was going to be a key to the game here. He's got 9 pass attempts. He has completed 6 of those, and he's got 1 interception. So he's got six completions for 58 yards, and I spit it out there. Nathan Walker leading the way receiving. He's got 3 catches for 34 yards. Gates Thompson's got 2 catches for 18 yards. Kobe Shade's got 1 catch for 6.
Experienced group. Also, Clay Mathers was in there too at nose tackle, spelled some, but.
And so, he's overcome that, and he's really having a pretty nice ball game. He's made some good decisions, I think, with the football. And his receivers have helped him out a little bit, as we said that they needed to do in this game, to get some more completions and maybe getting some yards after the catch. So John Glenn in a situation where they can, a good possession here. They can get back in this football game still. They're only down 7, but imperative to keep Sheridan off the board here early.
Well, in an offense where Nathan Walker's your number 1 receiver, he's not just, Winland is not just relying on going to him and looking his way, every time. He's involved Gates Thompson here a couple of times. I think he'll involve, Gilcher probably out of the backfield a little bit here and there. So he is trying to spread the ball around as well. As you said, it looks like he's throwing confidently. This is a little different quarterback than what we saw start the year. Looked like, he was just a little bit uncertain, battled some injury problems a year ago and so on. So he's looking the part. There's still a little bit of rust that's still being knocked off here by a group that, let's not forget too, we got, a junior quarterback in Winland. You got 2 sophomore running backs. And even though the line play for the most part is experienced, the skilled players there's still some underclassmen participating in there. It's not like a totally senior-laden lineup like Sheridan's got out on the field.
And a little update here, a little White Pillars Christmas Store scoreboard update. Bel Air leads Cambridge at half, 12-7, and a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought Cambridge would come back and probably take care of that one. But the big game in the MVL tonight, it's a crossover game. New Lex and Tri-Valley. New Lex leading that one at halftime, 12-7. And New Lex has got to be the real deal. I mean, undefeated so far. But sometimes, those early games, let's call it creative scheduling. You can schedule yourself some wins there early. But New Lex beat John Glenn and ahead of Tri-Valley here, who's having a nice year. They're 3-1 coming into this one, so that's a surprise. I thought it would be close, but I thought Tri-Valley would win that one, but still a half to play in that one. So New Lex leads that one 12-7. And it's hard to believe that like one of the big games of the year in the conference is a crossover between the small school and big school.
Well, that's it. In the MVL, I mean, it's one of the few leagues probably in the state that has such a wide disparity of school sizes from D3 to D5. And like you said, when a new Lex team comes in, a smaller school like that, and they're taking it to the bigger schools, that's an element of pride for them.
And again, on the White Pillars Christmas Store scoreboard update, Philo and West M 14 all. Philo having trouble scoring this year. They've really struggled offensively, but they've got 14 points, as does West M, and that was 58 seconds before halftime. So I don't know if anybody else scored in that one, but 14 all. Philo and West M, another MVL, and that's another crossover game. Big school, small school crossover game. So small schools holding their own against the big boys tonight.
Absolutely. Our halftime report brought to you by patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance. And our thanks to our YPRtv crew, producer Brett Klein, Mike Mitchell, and Paige Meadow on cameras tonight. And we'll come back here on NASH Icon FM and YPRtv and live on Facebook as well. Second half kickoff coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sheridan leading 14-7 here on homecoming night at John Glenn. Back in a moment on AVC Sports.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
What is a cooperative? A cooperative like Guernsey Muskingum Electric is your local rural electric provider. The owners are not investors on Wall Street. They are actual members using the electricity. Decisions are made by local directors who know, listen, and care about their neighbors. A cooperative is not driven by profit or stock prices. Instead, they are driven by providing safe, reliable electricity at a reasonable price. That's the cooperative difference. Guernsey Muskingum Electric, your touchstone energy cooperative.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
And welcome back on NASH Icon FM 98.5 and 107.9 and on YPRtv and live on Facebook. Glad you're with us here. Entertaining first half. We hope the same here in the second half. And John Glenn will be booting this ball here. So the John Glenn defense responded well in that second quarter, Dave Hilliard, and now we'll see what kind of fire gets put back, and I would expect probably to see maybe Reed Packer back in calling signals for Sheridan on the offense.
Yeah, and that's one of those, I mean, if I'm Sheridan, I don't know which quarterback played better. I mean, but as you said, the Packer, he plays defense. So, I mean, I think a part of that is, it gives him an opportunity to rest. Playing both ways is, it's a grind. It's a physical grind, especially if you're playing safety where you're going to have to come up and hit people, and then you're playing quarterback as well. But
right now we saw 14. He was talking with one of the assistant coaches here. He's walking back here on the sideline with the helmet halfway up, so kind of looks like perhaps he's not in any hurry to take the field, so perhaps we'll see Caden Sheridan remain in there, even though Packer, with only the one pass attempt, as you said in the statistics, led both of the touchdown drives, but of course the offensive line and really Poyer had a lot to do with that, and Munyon capped him off with TDs.
Right, so we'll see if that's just going to be Sheridan's show for Sheridan here in the second half. So
kickoff coming, brought to you by Valentine Insurance on Southgate Parkway in Cambridge. Evan Rector, sophomore right footer will send this one off.
We're going to have a shout out for our loyal listener, Eric Scheck.
Oh, Shecky's on tonight.
John Glenn basketball coach.
Yes, sir.
One of
Good
our loyal listeners.
Well, and we'll see if he's a loyal listener to me starting when basketball season gets going too. And that return by Showalter up to the 37, it looks like, out of bounds on the far sideline, a return of 17 yards.
I think it's those vertical stripes you wear in the wintertime.
Well, that might have something to do with it.
Probably gets him going a little bit. So
possibly. Possibly. I would say that probably if Sheridan's Doug Fisher or J.D. Walters are listening too, they could probably say the same.
I'd say you've heard from both of those guys as well.
We're quite familiar with each other, yes. Sheridan with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. And the handoff fake to Poyer. And there goes Sheridan right through the center of the line into the secondary. Could be gone to the 20, 10, 5. He scores on the game's second half's first play from scrimmage.
Wow.
64 yards on the run for Caden Sheridan. And just like that, 20-7 Generals.
All of a sudden, that momentum that John Glenn had picked up there just completely went away as the first play from scrimmage. Sheridan takes it to the house for Sheridan. And as you said, that was a 64-yard touchdown run. So that just puts Sheridan right back in control of a 2-touchdown lead here and that extra point.
Spencer Showalter still perfect. Yep. 21-7 Generals. And just like that, the visitors take the wind out of the homecoming Muskies' sails to start this third quarter with just 18 seconds gone in this third. And hopefully
now
John Glenn's offense will respond.
They got to answer. I mean, they've got to respond here. They've got to put some points on the board as well. I mean, maybe not one play and get a touchdown, but they've got to respond here. They've got to try to get a nice drive together like they did the last time. Get some points on the board and get this really nice field position here out past the 40-yard line. So a good place to start your offense, and you need to answer the Generals touchdown that lightning struck again. And it's John Glenn gave up a big play last week to Coshocton. That was Coshocton's only touchdown of the game, came on a big play like that, and they've given up 2 tonight. So going to have to shore that up defensively.
Lane Hall pretty fortunate to hang on to the football as a couple of Sheridan tacklers tried to wrestle it out of him on that return. John Glenn with its best starting position of the night at the 41. Gates Thompson, the motion man, coming across the formation right. And John Glenn going to have to,
that's a delay.
They're going to break to the short side of the field. The ball over on the left hash at the 33 now on a 3rd and 18. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. 21-7 Sheridan. Kobe Shade is all by himself with perhaps one-on-one coverage out here on the wide side right. Thompson now comes in motion to join him. And they kind of fake the screen to the right side. They go left to Walker, and Walker does well to get back to the original line of scrimmage just ahead of the 41-yard line. A gain of about 7 or 8 just to get themselves a little bit more breathing room for this, what will be the 4th Nathan Walker punt of the night.
And in the scheme of things, I think that's the kind of ball that Windland has the most success at. He's not having to really make a lot of decisions. He's just going to turn and fire it, and that's, he's been on the money.
A little bit of a high snap back to Walker. Walker's got some room, and he's going to tuck it in and run it. Takes a major league hit, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down by a yard. And there was a big collision between Walker and Sheridan's number 21, Bryson Ruff, junior linebacker, and his teammates help him up off the turf, but Ruff took the worst of that collision between he and Walker. Sheridan will take over on downs after Walker runs for a gain of 9.
I mean, he's not a running back, but he needed to try to make him miss there instead of trying to run over him because Ruff made the stop.
And he still had probably a good, 6-7 yards here toward the sideline here too. You figure, you can maybe stretch that out a little bit, but
and he's
But I like
6'3", 6'4".
I mean, I like the decision by Walker. I mean,
Right,
he beat there was one
space,
one punt rusher beat him, and really nobody else. There was only one or two other Generals that were
But now we've
dragging him down.
Set up Sheridan here big time.
Munyon gets the handoff, and John Glenn bottles him up at the line. And then finally, Christopher Wise, a sophomore linebacker, wraps him up and brings him down along with Connor Sensabaugh. Another, again, one of those we've said that we've been calling his name on the defensive side a lot, and he's really done a stellar job in Poyer in the middle so much. Out of the pistol, pump fake by Caden Sheridan on the run. Escapes an ankle tackle by Blandon Baker, runs for his life, throws to the far right side, and it's incomplete. Hitting right at the shoulder pad of Drew Boyer, who drops that one, what would have been a pretty decent yardage gained after Caden Sheridan escapes. Teaching staff and the whole sideline wanted delay of game right there, and it was mighty, mighty close.
That would have been the second delay of game penalty here of the game on John Glenn. That's carry now, still only 26 yards total.
Came into the night averaging 4.5 a carry in the first 4 games. Kobe Shade 17 to the near side right. Walker and Thompson out, receivers to the left. Again, straight handoff. Looks like there's a little bit of a hole right there, and it closes quickly most of the night as Winland struggles ahead to pick up about 2 at the 45-yard line. The nose of the football sitting right on the 45. 4th down and about 3 to go.
Keeping the offense out there.
Keeping them out there. They're probably going to look to try to draw them off here. They nearly did earlier with the nose tackle. They'll clap twice. Now they'll get another signal. Still 15 seconds on the play clock. Maybe down 14. Matt Edwards will roll the dice here a little bit, and they will. They'll snap it. Quick throw outside. It's caught by Kobe Shade. He's got enough for a first down.
He does. Nice throw there.
A little bit high, but Shade, a nice job concentrating there. Went up, caught it with the hands above the helmet as he knew he was going to get blasted, and he certainly did. Andrew Holden, number 11, hit him, but not until it was a WB Green Insurance first down for JG. Gutsy call for Coach Edwards still early in the
big pickup.
Relatively early in the second half.
Now got it at midfield with another first down.
So another, at least a 4th down converted this time by JG. Wendland gives it ahead to Gilcher. And again, a massive humanity up to the 48 of Sheridan, picking up maybe 3. Well, most of this night it has taken. There's been so many bodies on the pile around the tackle. It's taken a long time to sort it all out before they can even get the next guys back to the huddle for the next play.
Clock moving, still 2:17 to go until the end of the quarter. And clock time on my watch. This is a fast-moving football game.
Yes, it is. A lot of running, a lot of. Both teams using a good bit of time in between their play calls as well. A 2nd and 8 pass. Here comes Wendland. He's got Shade down the field. Good coverage down the post by Andrew Holden, number 11. Shade incomplete around the 16 of the Generals. Good one-on-one coverage there by the corner.
And that's one that Wendland's got to throw farther over the receiver's right shoulder instead of back towards the middle of the field. Give him a chance on that one. He just didn't have a chance where the ball was thrown more towards the middle of the field. That's got to be out wider towards that sideline.
So the clock showing 1:54 third quarter. Still 21-7 Generals on top of John Glenn. 3rd and 8 here coming for the Muskies. Already converting a 4th down on this drive, but need some more yardage on this play here. Wendland on the quarterback keeper, trying to find some space and is cut down at the ankles quickly. That was Thomas Helsel, number 59, the 190-pound senior linebacker coming in and cutting down the quarterback after only a gain of 2. So 4th and a long 6 here, David.
And he's going to be going for it again.
I'm a little bit surprised here. He kind of rolled the dice and maybe got away with one early. They may try to draw them offside perhaps, but
gone to that a couple of times. And
with the exception of a couple of big plays, your defense has performed fairly well.
Right.
I might still be more apt to play field position, but Matt Edwards knows that team well. And they're going to go for it here on a 4th and a long 6. And I think we had some early movement.
Or that's going to be legal procedure.
Well, that will certainly dictate this 4th down call. And I think that will change the mind of the Muskie head coach.
Going to necessitate a punt this time. I mean, you still have 1:07 to go. You still have a quarter to play. As you said, their defense has played pretty well. They've given up two big play touchdowns. I would lean more towards punting it here and trying to pin them back and then get the ball back to start maybe the fourth quarter.
Well, the offense stays on the field at the moment. Winland looking over to Coach Edwards. 3 wide receivers, 2 left, 1 to the right. Shade on the right side. They're going to go. And on 4th and 11, Winland's got good protection, throwing deep down. He's got Walker open, up for grabs, and it's knocked away at the last moment by A.J. Winders.
And I'm having the hard time believing that was not pass interference because the defender never looked back for the football, and he ran right into Walker.
But Sheridan perhaps maybe dodging a bullet right there a little bit. Got the benefit of the doubt. Pretty good man-on-man coverage. Step for step with him was Winders. And Walker's not the easiest guy to stay step for step with.
Now if you're Sheridan, you might take your shot here because the change of possession and all those things, you got them a little bit back on their heels. This might be their chance to try to throw one deep as well with just 30 seconds to go until the end of the third quarter.
21-7 advantage for the red and charcoal gray painted players tonight. Out of the pistol, Caden Sheridan hands it to Justin Munyon. Munyon escapes some tacklers behind the line of scrimmage, struggles ahead for a gain of 3, just short of the JG 45-yard line, and that will no doubt take us to the end of quarter number 3. Clock running at down to the 10-second mark. Sheridan will not be in any hurry, and we have played 3 quarters here at homecoming night in New Concord. Sheridan 21, New Concord, John Glenn 7. And we will return with our 4th quarter of AVC football for week number 5 after this scoreboard update brought to you by White Pillars Christmas House.
Are you looking for a career path with a growing company? AMG Vanadium is actively recruiting for its Cambridge and Zanesville plants. Come join a company with a strong environmental purpose and commitment to community. To learn more, visit AMG's website at amg-v.com/careers. AMG offers a competitive wage and benefit package. Applications are currently being accepted.
This is Russ Abels. Summer's winding down, but did you know this is actually the perfect time to upgrade your air conditioning? Because at Abels, the end of the season means an amazing deal. Call us now. We have system financing, and with incentives and extra add-ons available, the savings really add up. It's a great opportunity. Our best offer of the season on a new high-efficiency system. Call Abels and save on your new air conditioning system right now.
High school football from AVC Sports
and WYLE Cambridge, 107.9 Cambridge, 98.5 Zanesville, NASH Icon.
And we return to 4th quarter action here from John Glenn High School. 21-7 Sheridan as we start quarter number 4. And a 2nd and about 6 coming up. Here's Poyer running through the line. Walker and company trying to drag him down, but not before Poyer drags them for a WB Green Insurance first down and a gain of 10.
A White Pillars Christmas Store score update. A team we saw here in week 1, Dave, Fort Fry. They lead Warren 55-6, and that's at halftime.
Well, if you're going to score 55 points and a half, the only way you're really going to do that in high school football now is in the first half.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Impressive. That's a good football team.
I'm going to predict that there have been some big plays in that game.
I would think so.
Very quick scores. 1st and 10 play. Caden Sheridan and Poyer, the running back, run into each other. Clay Mathers, the nose tackle, 71, wraps him up near the line of scrimmage. Short gain on the play as quarterback and running back had a bit of a mix-up right there on the handoff exchange.
Poyer now 8 carries for 37 yards. They've done a pretty good job bottling him up. He's hit a big run there his first time. He had a 10-yard carry his first one of the ball game, but since then they've done a nice job on him.
Yeah, they really have. Munyon has a couple fewer carries, but bigger yardage right now. Sheridan again from the pistol. Tight end Casey Johnson coming across the right to throw a kick-out block and leads Munyon through the right tackle, picking up about 3 down at the 31-yard line. Lane Hall was in there along with safety Ryder Rock. Feisty 5'4" 140-pound soaking wet sophomore safety. We haven't seen him run the ball here yet tonight. I like to watch him run, but they have committed him to the defensive side tonight.
And he's played well there for him all season, so good for him. Undersized out there on the football field, but boy, he's a tough one. And
we've got
a penalty there.
We've got movement, early movement by the Sheridan offense. We'll move them back 5.
That's their 4th penalty of the game now for 35 yards total in penalty yardage. Big 3rd down here for the Muskie defense to have a chance in this one.
Line of scrimmage now set back at the right hash mark at the 36 of John Glenn. 21-7 Generals on top. Under 10 to go here in the 4th quarter. Two wide receivers. And a draw play for Munyon, and he is wrapped up immediately, coming in unblocked. Outside linebacker Cameron Barnhouse, number 3, read that play perfectly, blitzed from the strong side and cut down Munyon for a loss of a couple.
That's the second time Barnhouse has been in the backfield and made a nice play there. He had pressure on that one pass play where he came in and disrupted things and made a nice tackle in the backfield there. John Glenn going to get off the field, and, 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes clock running. That had to be a stop for them to have a chance in this football game. Now they got to make hay when they've got the football here, Dave.
Well, I wouldn't assume that they're going to punt this away yet. Might be thinking about something else, but they will kick it. Munyon sends a line drive bouncing at the 9, and Walker has to field it on a couple of hops as that ball was not going to take an end-over-end roll into the end zone, and Walker trying to just get back out of real danger, gets it back to the 5, and that's it.
Probably a good decision because it would look like it was going to die even closer to the goal line. So he did get in front of it and get it under his control and managed to get out, as you said, to the 5-yard line. Yeah. So good for him. But
probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, especially on a kick that
turf field
didn't have a lot of air under it.
Right.
You would have going to expect it to take a nice.
When it left his foot, I was thinking it's going into the end zone. That was my thought. So,
and probably most of the folks in the maroon and white shirts thought so too.
Yeah.
8:50 to play. John Glenn down 2 touchdowns and now 95 yards away from the goal line.
Big possession. They got to have something here.
Noah Windland out of the pistol, fakes the handoff to Gilcher, tries to come up between center and left guard and will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard up to the 4. And again, Cole Davis and that defensive front 3 of Davis, Reese Hale, and Hunter Zizik have really done their job winning the line of scrimmage.
They do a nice job because they're occupying basically 4 guys for John Glenn, and that just leaves space for those linebackers to come in and fill all those gaps, and they're doing a nice job with their run defense.
Yes, they are. 2nd and 11. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Windland surveys, and now will snap it with 12. Quick throw out to the near side. Kobe Shade gets a block. He's got some room. Takes a hard wallop by Andrew Holden, but not before Shade is able to get out to the 14-yard line. He'll be a full yard short of the first down, but picks up 10 on that quick flanker screen. Been a successful play most of the night for John Glenn. It hasn't lost yardage. They've completed, I think, maybe all but maybe one of those.
And that's when we were talking too that Windland. He makes a quick decision. He gets it out. He's throwing a nice ball to it, and it's been their most effective pass play.
Extension of the run game. Windland sees a hole, tries to charge it quickly off the left tackle.
Boy, did he
dives ahead of the 15. I think he's going to have just enough for a John Glenn and WB Green Insurance first down, and he does. Most important right now, at least just to get one, which they did, and now have just a little bit more breathing room out of the back of their own end zone.
But now time is a factor, Dave. We got 7:05 to go here until the end of this ball game, and John Glenn going to have to pick up the pace a little bit here on offense. I know they've liked to get that play from the sideline, but they're going to have to pick up the tempo here.
Sheridan's defense has softened up just a little bit. They're playing a couple of deep safeties. Winland rolls out, throws on the run. That's a catch for, I believe that's Gates Thompson. Thompson's forward progress gets him to the 24. Oh, I'm sorry, 19-yard line. Picks up about 3 or 4 yards on the pass. That's been a pretty successful first down. They have not, first down yardage tonight for John Glenn, running or throwing the ball has not been great.
It has not been great, exactly.
It has been tough all the way around. That's only maybe the second or third time they've thrown it on first down. Another quick throw out to Walker toward the sideline. That's a great catch by Walker as he picks that up below his knees and is able to still stay in bounds and avoid a big hit on a tackle and pick up another WB Green Insurance first down for John Glenn at the 27.
Walker went down and got that without getting to a knee. That was pretty good.
8-yard pass play for Walker. And that's reception number 5, is it, for him tonight?
That's his 6th.
Boy, I tell you what, he's made some good ones, too. He's made them
yes, he has.
Catches low, way up high, right in the seam. Had a couple of slobber knockers thrown his way, too, and he's bounced right back up. Winland again will check the sideline once again, and will make the clap with 3 seconds on the play clock. Quick throw to the outside, and that was dangerous as A.J. Winders got a read on that quick sideline throw at the 30-yard line. It sails incomplete, probably just as well for Winland that was a wide throw.
That's one of those that they read and you think he's going to step in front of that and make the interception, but the throw was wide and he couldn't get to it, so incompletion there. But exactly 6 minutes to play in this one, and John Glenn needs 2 scores to get even in this one, and it's a tall task here. They still got a long way to go. They're down on their own 27-yard line. Plus, they got to get a stop and score again, all in 6 minutes' time.
Right now, they're concerned about advancing the ball down the field a little further here yet. They're setting up a little quick screen to Gilcher. Nice grab in traffic. Gilcher bounces off tacklers, and he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down, dropped at the 35-yard line. And see, it looked like it was Boyer on the stop along with
got Winland now with 103 yards passing here, so that got him over the 100-yard mark.
Third down, a long 2. And from the 35, Winland throws outside. Walker's got it, makes a grab at the 40, turns and drags a few Generals with him for another WB Green Insurance first down at the 44. Nice grab, 9-yard pass play to Walker. Again, that a little bit high, but actually well thrown by Winland, throwing away from the defense and getting it only where his receiver
where his man can get it. Exactly, Dave. That's where you want to throw it to Walker. Big frame, big body, and he can get up. So good throw and nice completion there. Another first down.
Kobe Shade, number 17, near side receiver, all the way, all by himself to the left side, and Winland looking his direction, and that pass is underthrown right there. Maybe just a route miscommunication. Looked like Winland was expecting Shade to come really kind of square that off and go inside, and Shade really just kept that for a deep post.
Right. It looks like he was trying to throw the deep end, and Shade was maybe running the deep post. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here. Just over 5 minutes to go.
Sheridan 21, John Glenn 7. Coming up here in a little bit, just a few moments or so, our West 40 Auto Sales play of the game and our Dirtworks of Ohio drive of the game. 2nd and 10 play for JG from their own 44. Gilcher on the handoff. Left side, slips through a couple of Generals. Vaults over another one. And a penalty flag comes in right at the spot of the tackle at the Sheridan 48-yard line. And this one is going to come back. Someone had a big blindside block on the backside of a General defender.
That's a big penalty right there. That's out at the midfield stripe, and now back going to bring up a big 2nd and 13 or 14.
Not sure who the guilty party was, but Really a silly penalty, it looked like. Again, we've seen 2 or 3 of those. It's been nowhere near where the ball has been. So
4th penalty for John Glenn.
Some players
25 yards.
Some players kind of losing sight of where the ball is at. Gilcher straight ahead, picks up a couple. Now back maybe to the original line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line, 3rd and a long 10. And clock running at 4:20 to go, 4th quarter, down by 2 touchdowns. John Glenn. Number 3, Cameron Barnhouse will come out of the lineup.
Yeah, he was hobbling out there.
He was a little bit. Caden Black comes in. Junior will be an extra receiver out to the wide right side with Walker. 4 receivers now with Gilcher in the backfield for Noah Windland on 3rd and 11. And a 4-man rush, throwing over the middle, and Thompson slipped and fell down. He was looking for it over the inside shoulder. Windland threw it behind him, and as Thompson was trying to twirl around, the turf monster got him at the 37-yard line, and Holden nearly had himself his 2nd interception.
Yeah, just a little bit off on the throw there, and he's lucky that didn't get picked off here, but that's going to bring up 4th down a football game here with 3:47 to play.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to detect. It seemed like that's 2 or 3 times at least in the second half where, the throws either are really off target or there's some miscommunication between quarterback and receiver routes.
Got to convert this one to even have a shot.
3 wides to the wide right side, shade to the left. Walker is in the middle of that 3-receiver tandem to the right side, and they're going to look to throw toward the sideline, and that one is too high even for Walker. Wouldn't have been anywhere close to a first down at that point as Windland unable to hook up with him, and turnover on downs to Sheridan.
Basically going to end the football game here with 3:42 to go unless Sheridan does something crazy. 3:42 to go and you've got yourself a running football team. I'd look for them just to close this one out on the ground here and end this one, but crazier things have happened, Dave.
Mm-hmm. After this first down play here, partner, we'll look at our Dirt Works of Ohio drive of the game.
All right.
I think you've probably got one out of a couple there already thought about on your sheet prior to this.
I got one that might surprise you too. So.
Okay. We'll look at that here after this play. 1st and 10 play. Sheridan handing it off to Poyer. Poyer stacked up right at the line. No gain. Good penetration again. And the Muskies, Nick Zanders. And they're playing defense this time, along with Cash Smith. So our drive of the game, sponsored by Dirt Works of Ohio, where here's the play we really dig here. Go ahead, Dirt Works of Ohio play drive of the game.
A drive, can it be just one play?
Uh-huh.
I think
that qualifies as a drive, too.
I think the first play of the second half just changed the complexion of the game. It was a game, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. A one-play touchdown, 64 yards, and I think that's the drive of the game if you're Sheridan.
Mm-hmm. Our drive of the game brought to you by Dirt Works of Ohio. First play from scrimmage in this second half. Caden Sheridan with a long stretch handoff to Poyer. Poyer hangs on to it and then is smothered by a mass of white jerseys led by Blandon Baker and Clay Mathers. But a gain of about 7, maybe close to 8, just inside the Muskie 35. Clock running at actually stopped for the moment at 2:46. Nope, timeout is called.
Yeah, John Glenn
didn't see that. All right.
Somebody called a timeout there.
So a Muskie timeout. 2:46 to go in the fourth quarter here. 21-7 Sheridan. And while we're at it, let's just go on a roll here. Our play of the game here at Dave Hilliard, sponsored by West 40 Auto Sales. Play of the game.
I'm going to go with the catch that Nathan Walker made over the middle of the field, where he had to go up and get it, got hit. I believe that was a 4th down play, wasn't it?
Third or fourth down play.
Mm-hmm. Big first down conversion. I thought for John Glenn, because I'm looking at a John Glenn play there, I thought that was the play of the game for John Glenn. It was really nice throw and catch.
I would agree with that one. Our play of the game brought to you by West 40 Auto Sales in Cambridge. Post-game report coming up in just about 3 or 4 minutes from now. Southeastern Med post-game. Our YPRtv crew here of Paige Meadows and Mike Mitchell on the cameras, and our producer Brett Klein. Thanks a lot, guys. Great job as always. And a pretty entertaining game all the way around for the most part here tonight. There's Munyon slipping through the right side of the line, and Lane Hall tripped him up at the last moment. First down on the WB Green Insurance first down. Blandon Baker slow to get up as he's going to be holding that right elbow or right shoulder a little bit. Good sportsmanship shown there by Gladstone on the offensive line of Sheridan.
That's what
I have to assume those two got tangled up.
John Glenn does not need another defensive injury right now.
Oof. Shoulders are a bad thing to possess if you're a John Glenn defender this year. It has been one after the other. First and 10 play as Caden Sheridan hands it off to Munyon. Munyon tripped up after a short gain, about 2 yards. Quick timeout by John Glenn. 2:09, clock stopped here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a timeout here in this fourth quarter. 21-7, Sheridan leading John Glenn. We'll step away for a moment as our AVC Sports coverage here in week number 5 continues in a moment.
White Pillars Christmas House is a proud sponsor of Muskingum County High School football. Located at 7405 East Pike in Norwich, the Christmas House is your one-stop shop for all your Christmas needs. From different collectibles, nativities, lights, gifts, to all kinds of ornaments. Stop in today at this unique, one-of-a-kind Christmas shop. And Merry Christmas.
Dave Hilliard, Dave Davidson, back to homecoming night here in New Concord. Won't be a victorious night as John Glenn was looking to make it 2 wins in a row. A somewhat lackluster victory over Coshocton last week. They'll go down to defeat here tonight to drop to 1-4. Sheridan will get win number 4 here in just a little while. Next opponent for the Generals, Riverview, coming up.
John Glenn will be at Meadowbrook. Mike Snively and I will be calling all the action down in Byesville next Friday night.
Well, that's another team that's, usually when John Glenn and Meadowbrook's gotten together here the last 3 or 4 years, that's a game that's usually a real playoff pivotal game, but both teams will be playing for pride next week, and that one as Munyon is stopped near the line of scrimmage. Actually brought back a couple yards lost.
Got Munyon with 11 carries for 75 yards. First 2 times he touched it, though, were touchdowns, so he made the most.
Anything less than that now is
yeah, it's like, well, he didn't score.
Unsuccessful.
He couldn't score on that one. So, John Glenn now out of timeouts, so this will be the last stoppage of the clock by a John Glenn timeout. Just over 2 minutes to go. 2:01 left in this one. 21-7, and it looks like unless something changes in the last 2 minutes, that's the way it's going to end. John Glenn, though, using their timeout to stop the clock, but 3rd and 9 here. I'm going to look for another running play from Sheridan on 3rd down and another running play from Sheridan on 4th down. And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, then they're giving the ball back to John Glenn with less than a minute to go in the football game.
These two teams, the reserve squad will square off at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Is that right? At Sheridan tomorrow? Yep, 10 o'clock game for the reserves tomorrow against these two schools. Many thanks to our AVC Sports sponsors for tonight's game. Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, WB Green Insurance, Abel's Heating and Cooling and Electric. And we'll get to the rest of them here in a moment. Handoff, this will be Poyer off the right tackle. And Poyer picks up about 2 or 3 yards to the John Glenn 23-yard line. Also, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, Dirtworks of Ohio, TK Auto, and White Pillars Christmas House, our sponsors for tonight's AVC Sports broadcast of high school football. Our many thanks. Well, Mr. Hilliard, you want to play prognosticator and tell me what this 4th down play is going to be.
It's going to be a run, and it's going to be either Poyer or Sheridan might keep it himself here and try to pick it up, but
he's got an extra blocking back in there.
Yes, he does.
Bo Hayden, and he will lead it for Poyer Poyer carries a tackler with him, and he'll have a WB Green Insurance first down, and probably our final first down of the night. Dragged down at the 15-yard line by none other than Connor Sensabaugh and company, who has had a lot of tackles tonight. Clock running with 1:10, and Sheridan will only have to snap this ball perhaps one more time if the officials set this ball down for play very, very generously after this snap. And again, from the pistol set, Caden Sheridan's had himself a pretty good night. He will step back, take a knee at the 20-yard line from the pistol. He'll lose 5 yards, officially on the stats, but more importantly, a 14-point win for the red and white tonight as they prevail over the maroon and white of John Glenn here on homecoming night. Spoil John Glenn's bid for 2 wins in a row. John Glenn will drop to 1-4 on the season. Sheridan picks up win number 4 after a victory, a loss in week number 2, and now 3 wins in a row for this tough Sheridan Generals squad. Wasn't pretty at times, but they muscled out a 21-7 victory. And a relatively entertaining contest here tonight on AVC Sports. Dave Hilliard will add up all of the post-game totals. And we will step aside for our final post-game break on the radio side on NASH Icon FM. And we'll be back on YPRtv and NASH Icon 98.5 and 107.9 after this final timeout on our post-game, sponsored by Southeastern Med of Cambridge.
The car is making a strange noise. Then the worry starts. Who can we trust to fix the vehicle that won't cost an arm and a leg? TK Auto Service is the answer. They're the area's garage that treats customers fair and repairs what needs repaired. No upsells to drive the cost up. TK Auto Service, east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
This year, the Southeastern Med Cancer Services team is celebrating 30 years of being accredited by the National Commission on Cancer. Earning this accreditation and maintaining it for 3 decades is a testament to their team's quality outcomes, dedication, commitment, and care for their patients and community. Learn more by visiting seormc.org today.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Promises. You've heard them all. Peace of mind, quality insurance products, superior claim service, all at a fair and competitive price. Since 1848, Westfield Insurance has promised to provide excellent insurance coverage for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust. That is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers. For a quote on protecting your home, auto, and business, call WB Green Insurance today. WB Green, professional insurance.
Members of Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative love Southeast Ohio, where the hills roll, the roads are crooked, and the trees are plentiful. Keeping the lights on in our beautiful corner of the state is a challenge Guernsey Muskingum gladly accepts and works hard to accomplish. Safety and reliable electricity at a reasonable cost are always our top priorities. It's our way of keeping the lights on for all members of Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
High school football
From AVC Sports
and WYLE Cambridge, 107.9 Cambridge, 98.5 Zanesville, NASH Icon.
Does it have to? Wow, it's probably going to be John Glenn. We need a John Glenn player. Dave Davidson and Dave Hilliard back on YPRtv and on NASH Icon FM. Good to see our pal Mr. Gingerich there popping up to the press box here. And how we doing there, Mike? You see us all right here through the camera? You got a nice little double image here a little bit?
We got to get on Dave
That's
Adams
my-
here.
that's my best side.
The superintendent. We're on camera. And
Well, since you okay, well, all right. Well, look, you might as well. Well, get over here. You might as well get yourself in the picture now. Come on. No problem.
We need to get the superintendent on there or something. So
okay, so we've got let's see, a few things to take care of here. First of all, our Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game in Duncan Falls. Try their Waggus burgers and unlimited 100% juicy Wagyu and Angus blend. The burger people that people will come back for in Duncan Falls. Lock 9 Pizza. And our John Glenn Player of the Game for this award is...
I'm going Nathan Walker.
Okay, I like it. 6 receptions.
Let's see, I'll give you
Sounds
what he
like
had
off the top of my head.
7 receptions,
7.
61 yards, couple tough ones there. So
good choice.
He's our Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game. And
All
that's
right.
after I said last week, I got to go down there and try it out, the burgers they're talking about. So
You'll get your chance. You still got half the season here to go yet. Still.
Exactly, yes.
So Nathan Walker, our John Glenn Lock 9 Pizza of Duncan Falls Player of the Game. And we're also to award our Guernsey Muskingum Power Lineman of the game as well here. And let's start with on the
We're going with one
defeated side. One for each team. So let's hear the John Glenn lineman here first.
John Glenn, the Guernsey Electric. We're going with Blandon Baker will be the John Glenn lineman for that one, for Guernsey Muskingum Power Lineman of the game.
All right. And our Sheridan Guernsey Muskingum Electric Power Lineman of the game, we're going to go with senior Hunter Zizik. Played both offensive and defensive
both sides of the ball. That's a good choice. He played both sides of the ball.
Number 64. So congratulations to those young men, Hunter Zizik and Blandon Baker, the big fella on the D-line for John Glenn tonight, our Guernsey Muskingum Power Lineman of the game. Okay, so I think we've taken care of all of the necessities here. Let's go to the final stats here, partner.
Post-game report here from Southeastern Med. Our final statistics, and again, these are unofficial statistics. I am a retired math teacher. I'm not a professional football statistician. So,
well, I'm married to a math teacher. Does that count?
I don't know. Does any of it rub off on
you?
I don't think
it doesn't. Doesn't help you at all.
All right, for Sheridan rushing, Alex Poyer with 12 carries for 55 yards. His longest run of 10 there. Justin Munyon, 11 rushes for 75 yards. He had a 56-yard tote in there, and he had 2 touchdowns. Reed Packer, 4 carries for 22 yards. Caden Sheridan, 7 carries for 105 yards, and that's with losing 5 on the last play of the game there. The longest run there of 64 yards, and he had a touchdown. Showalter had 1 carry for 25 yards, and Ruff had 1 carry for 7 yards. That's 284 rushing yards for Sheridan tonight. Passing, they had 8 yards. Reed Packer was 0 for 2. Caden Sheridan was 1 for 5. They had 8 yards, and that went to A.J. Winders. He was the lone recipient of an 8-yard pass. For John Glenn, Lincoln Gilcher, 18 carries, 38 yards. Noah Windland, 8 carries for 7 yards. And Nathan Walker, 2 carries for 2 yards. That's 28 carries, 47 yards rushing, and that's the difference in the football game right there.
Yes.
Noah Windland, not a bad night throwing the football. 14 for 23 for 112 yards, and he had 1 interception. It really wasn't his fault. Got tipped. Nathan Walker there with 9 catches for 61 yards. Gates Thompson with 3 catches for 22 yards. Kobe Shade with 3 catches for 21 yards. And Lincoln Gilcher had 1 catch for 8 yards out of the backfield. And that wraps up all of my statistics here. I will say John Glenn had 10 first downs and had Sheridan with 12. So that
statistics not as lopsided as the score can indicate.
And Sheridan hit 2 big plays. They had 2 big plays in there. I mean, you got a 64-yard run and a 56-yard run, and that's really the difference in the football game.
So John Glenn will shore that up defensively. They'll try that next week. You and Mike Snively will have the call on that one.
That down at
in Byesville,
downtown Byesville, Ohio. Are you broadcasting next week?
I think I'll be down at Duncan Falls, I believe, next week, or at Crooksville, one of the two.
You can go to Lock 9 Pizza and test it out.
I visit, the folks at Philo see me often here during the week here during the soccer/football season. So they got plenty of me. Our thanks again to our post-game sponsor tonight, Southeastern Med. Mike Mitchell on the camera here and Paige Meadows. Thank you very much, guys. Brett Klein, our producer on YPRtv and on Facebook Live. So thanks a lot, guys. Great job as always. Dave Hilliard and Dave Davidson saying good night from homecoming night in New Concord. And the final score again, Sheridan 21 and John Glenn 7. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you for watching high school football. Today's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, Abels, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, TK Auto, White Pillars Christmas House, and Dirtworks.